Hey, moms and girlfriends. Welcome to Eden Prairie Center. I'm not getting to be with you today. Unfortunately, I'm having to be out of town, but I wanted to share with you the message for our sharing this morning or this afternoon. This is a little bit of an unconventional gathering spot for our sweet chosen treasure group, but today's date involves a little fun revolving around fashion, responsible fashion. And we hope you enjoyed the vintage fashion show last month. In women's ministry at Wooddale, part of our vision is recognizing it is our responsibility to disciple the younger generation. And in particular for women, bringing the truth of the word to the hearts of our daughters, a journey toward biblical womanhood. Our other goals of the group are to train up the girls to know in their heart that their number one priority is loving and honoring the Lord. And another is to experience Titus 2 from the Bible, mentoring and discipleship, and how valuable that is. Titus 2:4, it says, "These older women must train up the younger women." So, how does them all fit in here? Well, in the coming years, this is the spot where many girlfriend and mom daughter dates are likely to happen. You are growing and maturing girls, and in addition to needing new sizing, fashion can be fun and it can be a fun outing with your friends. Now, you may not be a fashion queen. You may be more of a tomboy, and that's okay. You might prefer casual clothes, no frills, a simpler fashion. And you might even be drawn to more boy things at this age, activities and such. You can still be a girl because God does not make mistakes and have different interests. Or you may love girl things and pageants and all things pretty, and that's okay. In Chosen Treasure 2.0, which some of you came from last year, and some of you may encounter next year if you're a fifth grader this year, we really dug into our individuality and that God made us on purpose with our very own personality and love language and skill sets and likes and dislikes. Girls, we and moms, frankly, we are constantly being fed a lie of what beautiful looks like. And liking things of beauty is not bad. One inspiring story of the Bible is that of Esther. Esther was a humble person of Jewish faith. And actually, she had lost her parents at a young age and she was being raised by her cousin Mordecai. And in raising her, Mordecai helped her to gain confidence and to be trained in pageantry. She actually spent over a year, which in what would be like what we would call a spa, primping and pampering to showcase and perfect her beauty, to pamper herself to be more beautiful. The short version of that wonderful story in the Bible, and I hope you go explore the story of Esther, is that God had a purpose for Esther's beauty. She was set apart and chosen for her beauty. She did capture the eye of King Xerxes, and ultimately, she also captured his heart. She became a wife. And what they didn't realize, though, is that one of King Xerxes' top officials was plotting to have all the Jews killed. And cousin Mordecai knew this, and he warned Esther of this. And King Xerxes was nearly on board with this plan by one of his top officials to kill all the Jews, but he also did not know that Esther was Jewish. She was very, very brave and heart pounding and knees shaking. Beautiful Esther entered the king's court. That was really bold and actually really quite dangerous, but she prayed and was encouraged by her cousin Mordecai to tell the king about the plot and how she was Jewish and her people would be killed. Her bravery saved the Jewish people. And that's the short version of the story. So go check it out. But to this day, there's even a feast called an event called the Feast of Purim, which celebrates when Jewish people were saved from a death decree, according to this book of Esther. So now let's get back to beauty. There is power in the beauty of a woman, but that comes with great responsibility. It is important to make a choice on how to represent our beauty. Now, just as a quick side note, I was at a wedding this afternoon and I had this top on, still have it on, but it's kind of cut pretty low. So I put a tank top underneath it because had I not, it would have been a little bit inappropriate and low to be helping the groomsmen and pastors. It just wasn't appropriate. So, our goal is to encourage truth and beauty and emphasize your identity in God versus seeking the approval of the ways of the world. Remember our teacup and how we are treating ourselves? Do we treat ourselves and set good examples? Are we acting like a styrofoam cup, which is just kind of trash and tossable, or a ceramic cup, which is stable but not special, or a teacup, which is God's masterpiece? That is how we should be presenting ourselves in how we act, how we dress, how we walk, how we talk. So I have to tell you a quick story. Many years ago, I was at a conference for moms, and it included the topic of modesty and raising girls, and the speaker was Shaunti Feldham. And I was happy to recently hear Pastor Dale reference one of her books. Well, she shared back then of a story of how her young son was once with their family at the mall and he got lost. And they panicked and they couldn't find him anywhere. And they had security looking around. They were really concerned he was taken. And you know what? They found him. They found him in front of Victoria's Secret, looking up at the pictures. Whew! They found him. But you know what he later told his mom? He said, "Mom, those pictures of the girls made my insides kind of tingly." Now, frankly, Shaunti, the mom, was intrigued and she wanted to look into the science of why, even at a young age as a boy, why he felt that way. And we should probably know some key information on how the male brain is wired. But first, let's do an experiment. I want to explain to you what the autonomic nervous system is. Okay, I want you to imagine that today when you get home, you arrive at home and there are fire trucks all lined up on your street, police cars too, and your garage door is open and the vehicles are gone, but pretend you have a young brother that was with a babysitter. You're pulling into your neighborhood, cars are gone, the garage door is open, cop cars, fire department, fire trucks all around. Now just think if that was your situation. What would your heart be doing right now? It would be beating pretty fast. And that's not because you know anything in particular happened, but because your body's telling you based on what it's taking in around you, right? Well, that is a measure of your autonomic nervous system. Oops, I lost my place here. That's a measure of the autonomic nervous system. You can work to, you couldn't, if your heart is beating super fast, you can't tell your heart, oh, stop, everything's fine. We can try to do that, but we didn't tell our heart to beat fast. It just did. You can work to slow down your heart and be calm, but the triggered response was not of you. It wasn't your choice to make your heart, okay, brain, now make my heart beat really fast. Your response was based on what you witnessed, what signs your environment gave you. It is also the autonomic nervous system that triggers a visual stimulation for boys. It does not say that they can't control themselves, but it is not of them to choose what's going on inside them. It's the autonomic nervous system. Clinical studies show the same process happens in a male brain when he sees a female showing off her body. Part of a man's brain creates an automatic temptation to want to look at those suggestive images. That's why we don't want you wearing low-cut shirts or midriff top that reveals your tummy, or short shorts that might just give a little peek of more than a boy should see. His brain lights up and he has an automatic physical temptation to take in that image. It's simply a biological temptation that boys have to fight. And mom friends, I don't know about you. Did you all receive a talk about how boys were wired? And specifically about the autonomic nervous system? Well, startling, but I did not. Family of 3 girls. Now, last fall, when I was sharing about our shopping agenda for the mall for the month of January, our own mom leader, Ms. Jane, who's either over here or over here, but I know she's with you, she asked if I knew the story about Victoria's Secret. No, I did not. Well, we looked into it. The brand of Victoria's Secret references Queen Victoria, and it referenced the taboo or hidden nature of lingerie and underwear back in the time of Queen Victoria. Keeping it short, the founder of the store named it after Queen Victoria because he imagined the stores looking like the Victorian era women's spaces with the velvet and the fancy, the boudoir scene. He wanted to create a sense of Victorian sophistication, but also alluding to the secret beneath the clothes. Ironically, there's nothing secret about what they promote or reveal. Girls these days, not just teens, women too, they take sexy selfies and wear suggestive outfits, midriffs revealed, tight pants, too low tops that reveal cleavage, and they imply, well, we should be able to. Why can't we? Don't tell me what to do. It's kind of become an excuse that we're free to do whatever we want. And girls, you are set apart, and this is not something I could share in a public school setting. I would probably be shamed for telling girls how to be, but you're our girls and we love you and want to protect you. 1 Corinthians 10:23 and 24 says, I have the right to do anything, you say, but not everything is beneficial. I have the right to do anything, but not everything is constructive. No one should seek their own good, but the good of others. In short, the translation I'm trying to share from Corinthians is that, well, we probably can do anything, not everything is a good thing to do. Why do we think girls feel the need to look older and look sexy? If you're 11 and look 15, people will interact with you like you're 15, but you're only 11, and you'll interact back like you're 11. You're more likely to engage in risk-taking behaviors. And for the moms to note, 1 in 3 girls aged 12 to 22 are in a compromised, meaning unsafe, dating relationship. And often it's because of miscommunication or a lack of understanding. God does not do away with all concern for feeling pretty. And I'm not saying that we should have to drop back to just wearing turtlenecks and long pants and not reveal our wrists. Not saying that at all. But he doesn't want beauty and being pretty to be our main concern. We are called to be set apart. Clothes shape our reputation. We wear clothes that tell people what we want to say about who we are, whose we are, where we're from, and what's important to us. So we must choose wisely. That might mean kindly and in a Christian manner, pointing out what's maybe not appropriate when we're shopping. God says, you are my masterpiece and I made you. Your attraction should come from the good you do in my name. We really want to honor and glorify God in what we do versus attract people to certain parts of our body. And we can't reinforce to our kids enough where your self-worth really comes from. So I am so happy you're here today. I want to get back to my camera. I'm looking at the notes on the side. Just so happy that you're here with us today. And I want you to be kind of excited about what we're doing next, which is a scavenger hunt, because we know we're training you up to do right things. And you can look for fashion where you go, whoa, Mom, a lot of people do this fashion, but is it appropriate or maybe not? Or if you like certain fashion, like I liked this dress, but it had a really low V, it meant I just modified it a little bit and I wore a tank top underneath it. And because it was a little bit shorter, I wore some solid black tights, which then didn't draw attention to that. So there are just different ways you can amend fashion, still keep fashionable, but keeping in mind that we are to glorify God. So Jane is going to take it away for our scavenger hunt, and then we have a little treat for you when you come back. Thanks again for joining us. And next month, actually, we have a treat as well. We're going to hear from Mrs. Marcia Hummel, Pastor Dale's wife, for our devotion, and then we'll do our routine back at church in the chapel after church. So thanks so much, you guys. Have a great time this afternoon. Bye-bye.